Okie dokie, we're live. Hello, Hacker Boy. Yeah, you're first in. It's interesting because the YouTube stats is saying that there's no viewers right now, and I've got two people in the chat now, and yeah, YouTube's still saying I've got no viewers. So yeah, I guess the stats are all a bunch of malarkey. Oh, they're probably just delayed by a few seconds. Let me load up the game. So the thing's going to be testing. So the vegetation bug. Essentially, what it was supposed to do is you've got a position on the map. Okay, so you've got an X, and so if this is your X and this is your Y, so you've got a position here. You'll have an X coordinate and a Y coordinate. What it's supposed to do is take the camera position, X and Y, and the terrain position of where all the grass and stuff is, X and Y coordinate, and subtract the two. What it accidentally did was instead of subtracting the player's X coordinate from the map X coordinate and the player's Y coordinate from the map Y coordinate, it accidentally subtracted the X coordinate twice. So it's kind of only considering the X coordinate, which meant vegetation only worked on the bottom left to top right diagonal, which is luckily the direction most tornadoes move, which meant when I started to get into the bottom right or top left quadrants, it must have been, the vegetation just started disappearing. So we're going to check that that's fixed. I've also changed the mechanics so that instead of just being penalised cash or data on an impact, it reduces your health, and once the health gets to 0, you die. So let's just test that out now. What I'm going to do is just quickly test the different health things. So let's just start by like crashing into a tree or something. Okay, 96%. Let's drive really fast and crash into something on purpose. See, then it slowly regenerates as well. Try and look for something either next to the road or at the end of the road to crash into here. Show us amount to join the stream. Yeah, I was only live I think like 10 seconds or something when you joined. Got crazy rain. And you're in a gap between two storm clouds. Yeah, I had a couple of decent thunderstorms so far this year, but nothing massive, nothing that impressive. Right, let's crash into this fence. Oh, I think that deserves more than a 10%. I just want to check that dying and going back to the main menu work properly. Hello, Real Smurf. Shoe bricks have been patched. Yeah, so you're fine up to 100 miles an hour. Above 100 miles an hour, it'll start reducing health. Once you get to 200 miles an hour winds outside the vehicle, it'll be removing 10% health every second. So assuming you have full health, that'll give you 10 seconds to get back into your vehicle. %, health. It's actually quite hard to purposefully die in the game, but then again, we don't want people's chases to suddenly end. I think this is better than the way it was. So in the original Tornado Research and Rescue, if you like went over a hill and then like crashed into the ground, it would just reset your game and respawn you. And remember, people would get very frustrated with that. So you're not going to accidentally kill yourself just by taking like one bad turn or like driving off the road. Again, lift without crashing down again, you will still circle around forever. Yes, but maybe I should add some wind speed, health, depletion to the vehicle as well. But let's see how it goes. Or maybe I should add an artificial like thing where if you're suspended in the air, the tornado slams you down onto the ground or something. Not quite sure how the logic of that would work. Actually, this is going to be the perfect thing to try and move on the health. 43. Well, I guess in real life, if you got lifted by a tornado and suspended in the air, you wouldn't actually die until you actually impacted the ground or impacted some debris. So it's somewhat realistic in that regard. What I'll have to do is start coming up with funny causes of death again. Because in the original game, you see like cause of death, blunt force trauma to everything. And the idea was I was going to add randomized ones and then never got round to it. Okay, 2%. This one should do it. There, says you died. And then it should kick us back to the main menu. There we go. Alright, so we know that's working. The other thing that was added, where's my mouse gone? Oh, that's a problem. Huh. So we found our first bug. Since the mouse is disabled when you're in game mode, it never actually re-enables the mouse when you go back to the main menu. Right, need to patch that quickly, get a brief look behind the scenes. I just realized the mouse is disabled and locked when you're playing the game, so when going back to the main menu, the mouse is gone. Needs to be locked and visible and enabled when going back to the main menu. Yeah, you can see Codex do its thing here. A death screen, I think I probably will, for the sake of tonight, just gonna, and probably tonight's update, it's just gonna say you died on the screen for a few seconds and then kick you back to the main menu. Hail should damage you. Yeah, I haven't figured out a way. Yeah, let me add that to the Trello. Hail gives you health damage. That would also go to the vehicle as well, to avoid you just sitting in like a heavy hail core for no good reason. So it can be a bit more strategic. Should we add the tornado slamming the player into the ground mechanic as well? I'm not sure. Let's do a quick commit here in case that mechanic breaks everything. Death and dying. Bit of a morbid commit message there. Right. I'm not sure how to implement this, but the player's truck can be suspended in the air by the tornadic winds. Rather than just having the player orbit forever and ever, and also ever, the Tornado should be able to randomly slam that truck back into the ground. However, this shouldn't be triggered when the player is just at ground level or maybe catches some air on a ramp and high winds. The hail damage, I think, will be a bit more involved. I'm not going to do that, but I think it'd be easy enough for it to slam the player into the ground when they get lifted. We'll test that next. Thanks for wife's helpfully giving me feedback on the thing. I didn't even realize. Are you watching the stream? My wife was in the stream before watching. She just sent me 3 texts. It's just sitting like 6 feet from me, saying, "I think your health needs to degenerate quicker. When you have crashes, it regenerates quickly too." Yeah, I can look at rebalancing that a bit. Yeah, thanks for giving me more work, wifey. Uh, yeah, I'll keep the defaults for now, and then once we've got some feedback after more people being able to play test it, yeah, I'll adjust it. But yeah, I do agree. It does seem like it was very difficult to inflict damage, and then the regeneration was quite quick. But let's just keep it that way for now. Let's keep it on the easy side of things for now, because we've got to bear in mind there'll be new people. There's new people getting the game every day, so we don't want them to have a completely new game mechanics, and then also make it really easy to die as well. So we'll balance that. But yeah, thank you for the feedback. She can't hear now. She's got her headphones back on. Hello, Victor. Is this Roblox Storm Chasing YouTube? I did a video on your game about a month ago. Oh yeah, yeah, Fusion 2307, I think it is. Was it 2309? 2307. Yeah, I'd actually contacted Fusion about that. Uh, he'd made a video about. Let's pull up his channel here. I was like, give shout outs to other people, even though his channel's bigger than mine. But still, I'll do a bit to help him out. If you go on videos, he put out a video a while back. The problem with realism in storm chasing games, and made some excellent points. So I just put something in the comments saying, "Oh, this is the exact issue I'm trying to work around now in a storm chasing game. I can send you a free key if you're interested." And he was, so I sent him a free key to unlock the game, and I really appreciated that. And he's done a video, and wow, it's up to 46,000 views as well. So I feel like that video's performing quite well. Let me just pull this back down here. So what's it actually done? Yeah, so we're gonna have to purposely get ourselves sucked up by a tornado in the next bit, which will be some interesting mechanics to test. Yeah, I was thinking I could add something like acid rain, but that was such a random one with funnel runners. Like I understand hail, I understand tornado, down power lines, open manhole covers, I understood all that, but the acid rain mechanic just seemed completely random. It's acid rain isn't really a storm hazard. It's not something you really associate with storms. The game is small enough that I know about everybody. Oh yeah, I'm always looking to see if anybody's made a video on it. It's really useful to it, it's really useful to see what people think and get honest feedback. There was somebody who made a video. It's called something like "Tornado Research and Rescue: A Whirlwind of Jank," and kind of pointed out all like the things which weren't well polished in the game. I appreciated them making the video. Like the criticisms were fair. It wasn't just like this game is bad, the dev is bad, everything is bad. They had well thought out and well they communicated the criticisms fairly. I should probably let them know there's a new version of the game out actually. But yeah, I get really excited whenever I see somebody's made a video of the game. I always get really excited because because I get to actually see how other people interact with the game, not just me. What was interesting on one person's, I can't remember if it was a stream or a video on Twitch, but they were using a version of the game, and based on the updates they'd released, I knew there was a pirated version of the game. So if you publish a game on Steam, within a couple of hours it'll automatically be pirated. It'll be on the Pirate Bay. So I downloaded it just to see how it worked, and it's like one of the very first releases of the game. Uh, so it's really old. So the menus, it was back when the menus had that old blue like teletext style, um, and they were using that version, and it was like probably 6 months or something after I'd like completely changed the UI. So I thought, either they have somehow haven't managed to update this game once in 6 months, or more than likely this is a pirated version of the game. But I don't really mind. Like it brings attention to the game. I probably made more in sales from that person doing the stream than I would have that one person just buying the game. Anything more related to Tail Clouds? Not yet. That's gonna be. I have to do that when I've got a few days free to work on it. I'll need to get some good reference images for that. Tornado wins at the truck's position. So I'm curious what logic it actually implemented here. Let's read through what Codex did. Implemented the airborne tornado slam. Requires every wheel airborne in 140-mile-an-hour winds for 3 seconds. Requires at least 4 meters of ground clearance. Then waits a random between 1.5 to 4.5 seconds. Applies a minimum 20 meters per second downward velocity and disables tornado lift until contact. Ground contact, reduce wind or lost clearance resets the pending slam. Okay, we should call that the Jonas maneuver. You know, if you've watched Twister, you'll know what I'm referring to. He gets so far up the funnel. Oh, I wonder if I could add like a whistle sound to it as you get closer to the ground. Something interesting, actually. Every movie which has like something falling from the sky, like usually like a bomb or an aeroplane or something like that, and the frequency gets lower because it's like as it gets closer to the ground. In reality, it's the other way around. The frequency increases as it gets closer to you. So it's like the exact opposite way around than what you'd actually hear in real life. Right, so we'll be back to the game in a minute. It's compiling the scripts. This should take, I'm going to guess, another 10 seconds. Four, three, two, one. Okay, looks like almost done. Didn't seem too bad of a guess. Reloading domain's the last thing it does. I'll do a quick build and we'll get back into it. Right, reload that. Right, let's do a quick build. This should only take a couple of minutes, and then let's actually do some chasing. Well, actually, we do need to test it, so let's purposely kamikaze ourselves into a tornado, and then um, after that, we'll do a proper chase. Let's stop using AI thumbnails and videos. Yes, I try not to. The problem is, because of the game, if I just use a random frame from inside the video, all my thumbnails look the same and nothing distinguishes them. So for certain clips, I'll do that just because I'm not a Photoshop artist. Like I can't make anything in Photoshop like that. So I do use them occasionally for certain videos I want to stand out. But I know what you mean. You see a thumbnail, you can instantly tell it's AI generated. I still think it's more eye-catching than just having some generic screenshot from in the middle of the game. Also, the worst is actual AI generated content. Like, I hate it when I click on a video, then you hear that same like TikTok voice just narrating things. At least the content itself's not AI generated. Am I a good artist? No. I've got zero drawing skill whatsoever. Like when it comes to like technical things like rendering and doing tornadoes inside the game, that's fine, but like designing thumbnails and stuff, that's not my strong suit. Right, the build finish. Okay, let's get back into the game, hopefully. It needs to load, then I need to close it, then I need to open it again. That's the difficult thing about being a solo dev. You need to be at least decent at lots of things, and like art and design is not a strong suit. Right, so let's do a kamikaze run. This is doing a smaller map. Oops. So I accidentally closed my little YouTube preview of the chat there. Right, ultra. Yeah. I forgot I've got that convenient thing where it remembers what you choose. Right, we also need to make sure that the grass doesn't disappear. I'm heading east. I want to be heading... Well, that's probably the most bizarre map center that's been generated before. If we want to head south, where's south? Southwest. Where's south? There's south. Right, got the wall cloud lowering there. Let's... Oh yeah, also I forgot to say I've got a vegetation rendering set and I need to test as well. So if your PC's struggling, you can set it to 100 meters. So it'll just render the vegetation for 100 meters around. Let me set to 750. It defaults to 500, 750. There we go, that's good vegetation coverage. How do I get... Did I enable velocity? No. How do I get over there? Oh, there's a motorway. That'll make things a bit easier. Alright, let's just hide that. Hello, Neon. I design looks quite good as character. Your retro UI is really... Oh, well, thank you. I think that's a massive compliment. Your graphic design and you like the UI. Yeah, for that, I had the useful thing for that is I had a lot of reference material. So it uses the Motif UI, which was on, I think it was Silicon Graphics hardware back in like the 90s. So I was able to like zoom in, and luckily it's not too complicated. It's just some simple like bevel and emboss style, sort of kind of like pixel art. So I was able to recreate that in Photoshop fairly simply. It's compared to something really fancy UI. Yeah, I've tried to keep to a similar aesthetic of that 90s sort of aesthetic without making the game feel dated. But you can hear the roar already. So Neon, you just joined. What I'm doing is, someone suggested that the tornado should slam it into the ground. rather than just sitting suspended in the air. So we're testing out the health mechanic. You do die, you do end up back at the main menu. And what I'm testing here is I want to try and get lifted by the tornado, and then see if it does slam you into the ground rather than just keeping you orbiting every so, like just orbiting until the tornado weakens. So we need to purposely get lifted by this tornado. Also, we need to test the first person view. So if you're standing in winds which are stronger than 100 miles an hour, it should start slowly removing health. Oh, perfect! This is gonna do it in twice the time. Like twice the speed, half the time. I was points on an exam question about that. It was like chemistry, and it was like what happens to what happens to the time it takes for the reaction to complete. And I said it increases because I was thinking the rate of reaction increases, but actually the time decreases. So yeah, am I losing health? Yeah, I am losing health. So you can't just stand outside the truck consequence free now. Right, and I want to try and get lifted by this. Oh, I fell through. That bridge must be about... Right, so it's going to lift us up, and then it should periodically just slam us into the ground. Oh, there we go. And we'll lift it again, and then there should be another impact with the ground. Yep. Yeah, I think that feels far more violent. There we go, then just a simple you died, and then back to the main menu. Alright, so I think we've got everything there to just... What should we do? Career mode? Try and level up a bit? Any difference from the 2023 release? Yeah, it has a health bar, so you'll see, I'll point it out again, I didn't really explain that very well. Above the little wind speed on the bottom left, you've got the health. It's not a bar right now, it's just text, but at some point I'll turn that into a bar. Top 10% of chases. We'll keep hunts on, and when that gets to 0, your chase ends, you lose your progress. I didn't code it, so I used Codex to code that. So Codex is ChatGPT's, or I guess OpenAI's version of Claude. So I did write a good 80-90%, if not more, of this project myself by hand first, and now I'm using AI to quickly implement features on top of what I already coded, so kind of like the shape and structure of the project was already there. I wouldn't, and I still want to go back and tidy up all the code and re-architect it. I wouldn't suggest starting with an empty project and just AI coding from the start. Like, that's just going to be a recipe for disaster. Like, trees are reacting to the wind as well. That's good. Right. So this is going to be much more difficult now. This is going to change how I play. Right, velocity radar, anything on the velocity? No, anything on the reflectivity? Right, it's going to be somewhere to our west. It might be moving west-east. Ooh, there's a lot of towns there to our north. Let's just go a little bit north. Let's go to about here. And we'll need to make sure that the grass never disappears at any point. Especially so if we're in the top left or bottom right quadrants of the map. Yeah, it feels more violent as well, just the sound. You've got the wind sound effects, which have always been in there, which gets stronger the closer you get to the tornado. But the tornado also emits a roar as well, so you've got twice as much intensity. Plus, if you're using a controller and you have it vibrating with every impact, it's just really becoming immersive now. Oh, there's the wall cloud. I'm not sure which direction that's going, so yeah, let's stop here, and then we're probably going to have to warn either this block of towns or this block of towns. But yeah, and going back to that comment about AI thumbnails, yeah, that's the problem. Even when I said like, try and be unique, don't just create like a generic AI thumbnail. It still does that, has that unique style, because we just had some people made some posters at work about a bake sale. It was a good bake sale, by the way. Some really lovely like brownies and cakes there. But anyway, that's the point. The point is they generated the poster obviously using AI. Because I pulled out my phone, showed a thumbnail for one of my videos to one of my colleagues, and it was saying, like, can you see the similarities? And it was like the exact same font and the exact same color and style as like the bake sale as there was for like the text say. I can't remember. There's a text saying like this chase went completely wrong or something like that. Right, let's use the mouse trick. Okay, it looks like it's moving southeast, sorry. Okay, well, if we head east, there is a motorway we can use. I just want to wait for confirmation that that's actually the direction it's moving. So let's zoom right in. Oh yeah, it's moving southeast, east-southeast. Okay. Let's do it. So that's anything... I'm glad it's moving southeast, because that's if it's heading northeast, we already know the vegetation should work on the bottom left to top right diagonal. So in the bottom right corner, that's a good place to test that the vegetation rendering still works. Like, I definitely want to get that fixed, especially since it seems like Komodo Gaming's going to do a video, hopefully. And Jeff Avogno said he wants to do one soon as well. So I'm really stoked about that, really excited. But I want to make sure the vegetation stays, because what a difference it makes when the vegetation disappears. You suddenly look like the games from 2004. Oh, that was close, almost lost some health. Got the funnel touching down. So, chemicals. Chemicals. Which ones should we release? I think we still need to be a little bit further south. It's effects like blur or like a reddish screen effect is low on health in first person. Oh yeah, I could do. There's a post-processing overlay, a vignette, and right now it's very. If you look, it's very subtle. It's got a very subtle kind of black vignette, just so the edges of the screen are very slightly darker than the center. Oh, I can hear the roar already. So it's already got that. So what I could do is just make it more noticeable. Oh, got a bizarre pattern going there. That's a moray pattern. Make it more visible and make it red. Yeah, I could do something like that. Also something similar when it hunts as well. Right, let's use real world storm chasing techniques here. We've got that barn as a good reference. That's like right in the middle of the funnel. And it looks like it's moving to the left, so we want to go a little bit further south. Oh yeah, you can actually see that on the map as well. I think we actually want to head a little bit, just a touch to the west. Sorry, I will catch it. I'm doing a really bad job at keeping up with the chat. Should we do a manual deployment? I cruise the outer boundary of the map. So I think career mode uses a 30-kilometer map. So that's a 120-kilometer drive to test that. I don't think I'll be doing that tonight. Even at 120 miles an hour, that's still going to take a good, what, 45 minutes or something? Right. I've got I need to be safe, don't I now? I can't just exit the vehicle and just stand in first-person view to stay safe. That's not an option anymore. Let's try a first-person deployment, though. Always more exciting. Also, I spent a long time, so I scrolled back through all my development update posts back to like late 2023, and some of the ideas which I had in like late 2023, sometime in 2024, have actually been implemented. Like I did actually mention having different data types, and the exact same ones I meant actually have in the game now. So the wind speed, temperature, dew point, and all that. Which way am I going? I'm going south. Okay, not the best, but okay. Let's see, does this one respond to wind speed as well? Let's do probe camera. Get some F2 data. How close are we to some chemicals? Okay, let's keep an eye on it. That's getting close. Oh yeah, we can see the chemicals there. Was that plus 20%? Yeah, we need to keep our distance. Yeah, that's pushed it up to F5. Let's take the next right and go for another intercept. Also, another thing I need to test, I'm going to try it really quickly here, is that the 100-mile-an-hour winds shouldn't decrease health. Okay, that's going to rapidly run out of control. I'm going to disable chemicals because that's responding really strong to wind there. Let's get wind. Temperature, pressure. Let's just do some data gathering for now, I think. Yeah, no, I'm not losing any health here. Oh, whoa, looks like a horizontal vortex. Oh, the overpass is collapsing. Right, please don't hunt right now. We're far from the road. Actually, I think it'd be more useful to get on this road over here since it's heading southeast. Right, we're going to do quick recall, quick deploy. Please don't hunt right now, though. We're kind of stuck. Yeah, let's do data gathering and get some money and upgrades. Slam non-play objects into the ground. Oh yeah, it's a good idea actually. Because anything can get slammed into the ground. The other thing I want to implement is having whole objects lifted into the air before disintegrating. I think that would look really cool. What sort of wind speeds are we getting? F4. So there's no vegetation being rendered on the probe camera, but that's just because the tile it's on has been unloaded because we've driven further away. F5. We're going to see any F6 strength. How's our data collection coming along? It's good. What about upgrades? Can we unlock any of... No, we need our PhD. Need to be doing some more rescuing. Let me just keep an eye on where it is. Oh, well, okay, that's very close. F2, F3, F2. F3. F4. F5. F4, F5. F6? Okay, so we've got an F6. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't let the chemicals go much further than that then. Are there any towns we need to warn? Oh, kind of getting trapped here. Right, let's still gathering data. We're kind of trapped. What we need to do is drive towards the tornado a bit. Then hopefully we can beat it to south. There are some towns in the very bottom section of the map which we can warn. But this isn't ideal. We need to drive towards it. This is not even driving towards it yet. We're just driving directly in the path. This would be a good place for quick recall, quick deploy. And then we're going to have to drive towards the tornado and then take that motorway south. Okay, we've got to watch out for the debris now. It's actually becoming a real risk. Right, we'll take this next left, but yeah, that's an F6 tornado inside there. The core winds above 318 miles an hour. Make sure I don't get picked up here. 145 mile an hour winds. The truck's going to struggle. Like, look how far away it's actually pulling things into it from. What have I got map tile rings set to? Because it feels like it's a bit of a low setting right now. What's it set to? Oh, it's set to 1. I thought the map was feeling a bit empty. Set it to 4. There we go. Map should feel. I thought the map seemed quite empty. Oh, we're going to get direct hit on the probe. I do need to do something about the probe rendering, because it does really slow the game down. Right, I think we need to continue east. Vegetation's looking good. I don't want to jinx anything, but the vegetation seems to be working very well. Okay, the probe's about to hit the outer circulation again. Let's just see what wind speed we've got in there. F3, F4, F5. F4. Yeah, let's continue. How are we doing on data? I'm doing pretty decent on data. So look at the tornado. I'm forgetting to keep the tornado in view. Like, that's what people want to see. They want to see the tornado, obviously. Oh, we're going off road here. That's okay. We'll bridge across to here. Whoops. Accidentally crashed into a tractor. Right, this would be an absolutely terrible time to have a hunt. Well, actually, I wonder if those towns are going to need warned. Probably will. They're going to at least be impacted by F1 strength winds. Look at that, that's an F6 monster. Oh, look at that horizontal vortex just popping into view. I actually feel scared because I can actually lose my progress now. Best way to warn the towns, I think we'll just follow this road around. We won't have to make any turns at any intersections. We'll just follow this road, we'll get to that town and then we can warn them. So we just need to try and outrun the tornado pretty much. We're already somewhat getting in the path as well. I think quick recall, quick deploy. We'll start collecting some data. I won't do anything with chemicals yet. Right, so they're just in the outer F0 band. It's once the F1 band gets there, so it's better safe than sorry. Anything that improves the score will help. We're kind of, our next lot of upgrades are kind of gated by our ranking, and we just need to wait to improve our rescue score. About adding certain things in the open fields like the dreaded rocks? No, I'm not. I did that on purpose because I didn't want people to drive off-road, but all these, I wanted to discourage it. But all that happens, people still just drove off-road and then just kept crashing into rocks, dying, and then refunding. I think there's one stream I watched where somebody decided to refund the game after because he's getting so frustrated. Like, he was jumping out of his chair with frustration every time he was dying. Vegetation, I don't want to speak too early, but I think the vegetation rendering bug is legitimately fixed. One thing I was thinking is, what if instead of chemicals being based on samples, you refill the chemicals at those tanks? So you have a certain amount you can release and you choose when to release them. then when each one of those tanks is hit, just like a random chemicals released into the tornado. Right, we're almost there. Come on, let's warn them. Ideally, I know this is a bad thing to say, but it is just a virtual tornado. I hope it hunts and I give these towns enough warning so that I can massively increase my rescue score. I love seeing the trees bend in the wind like that. Break. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is a universal thing, but on I think it was my very first driving lesson, maybe my second one, and I've talked to other people in England, and this seems to be a thing driving instructors do. You'll be slowing down for an intersection, and they'll be saying, brake, more brake, more brake, more brake, brake, more brake, more brake, more. You'll come to a stop like 50 feet from the intersection, and they'll be like, why have you stopped this? Look at all that space in front of you, why have you stopped here? But it was just me, like I was talking to a friend, they did the same thing. I don't know, is that something they do in America? It's the same thing, it's like brake, more brake, more brake, more brake. Why did you stop here? Did that happen to you on your test? Or in your lesson, sorry. No. My wife's saying that didn't happen to her. Happened to me. Tanks like actually have a purpose? I'm thinking so. Like you could stop there to refill, and then you'd have to. At least the benefit now is the chemicals are released automatically. I don't want to add too much, I guess, indirection, like extra steps, because it already seems like some players are a bit overwhelmed with the amount that happens in the game. Okay, probe camera. So we'll just watch it from a safe distance. What was the issue? Yeah, Neon, I'll explain. So it's easiest done on the map. So what it does is, so we're here, right, okay? So we've got an X coordinate, and it's actually a Z coordinate, just the Unity system. So this is X, what we'd call Y normally is Z. So you've got the X and Z position of the player, and then for each bit of vegetation which might load in, it's got its own X and Z coordinate. So what you do is you want to only load vegetation within a certain distance. Oh, perfect. Perfect. We can get our score. So let's explain this quickly. Let's do a quick Sam Kennedy lecture. So what you do is you subtract the player X coordinate from your vegetation patch X coordinate and the player Z coordinate from the vegetation patch Z coordinate. You can then use like Pythagoras or whatever to get a distance, and then if it's outside of a certain rendering distance, you don't render it. If it is, then you do. What it accidentally did, it did essentially player.x minus map.x, and then it did player.z minus map.x again, or maybe the other way around, or player.x again. So what it meant was essentially ignoring, that's getting quite close, it was ignoring your Z coordinate, so it only worked when your X coordinate and Z coordinate were equal or within 5,000 meters of each other. So there's essentially a 5-kilometer corridor from the bottom left of the map to the top left where vegetation would work. And if you're straight outside of that, then it wouldn't. I should probably start making a getaway now. But yeah, I hope that made sense. Essentially, it only looked at your left and right position and ignored your vertical position on the map. So it would only work if you're on the long diagonal from bottom left to top right. The gameplay looks very addicting to you. Oh, thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Like, there's an engaging gameplay loop. Because one thing I was finding even on stream is one tornado would rope out, and I kind of feel like a sense of exhaustion when it came to then chasing the next tornado and having to drive back. But now we've got chemicals and they store up over the whole course of a chase. It actually makes me excited for the next tornado because I know it's going to be more intense than the one before it. Right, let's just make a bit more of a getaway. Then we've got a nice big long road here to our left. So we've got like F6 winds. Like what's that? Probably like what, 200-300 meters wide? F6 winds concentrated into like a 300-meter drill bit. Right, I am going to have to cross the tornado's path here. But needs must. Oh, I've kind of overshot. Right, change of plan. We're going to go right and then left. Okay, it stopped hunting anyway. Right, I think it's time to start putting more chemicals in. Speaking of chemicals. Chemicals on. And it's just going to go round robin between all three of them. So it's going to make the tornado slower, wider, and more intense. Now, I purposely want the chemicals to affect a tornado even if it's near a town. It's just like real life. If you're doing field research with chemicals in a tornado that could potentially make it stronger, you'd have to take its location into account. Let's go north a little bit more. Where's the probe? Quick recall. We're going to take the next left and do another deployment. We're getting towards the next set of chemicals being released. Making some progress. I think what we'll do here is just, let's back up a bit. You hear the roar when I'm looking right at it. This looks so cool. Quick deploy. Right, then let's get out of here. Oh, then we've got another set of towns to warn. How are we doing? Oh, we've got our PhD. Oh, the other upgrades are unlocked. Okay, dew point data, unlock. Go to the data page, let's enable that. We're going to get all the data now. So see, remember I said the tornado parameters can be... Whoa, look at all that. Just violence going on behind us. Remember I said tornadoes can change their parameters, like the render parameters across the whole lifetime. So we've seen this go from a wedge to, like, I guess a rope. Or a small stovepipe. So this can actually happen in the game. Let's take the north road actually. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm having so much fun playing the game now. That's a good sign for me because I guess I've play tested to death and know every like bit of detail about how everything works, which usually kills the fun for a game. Like I even remember the creator of Storm Chaser saying like he couldn't enjoy the game because all he would notice was problems from it. And the fact I'm enjoying it after putting so much work into it, I think is a really good sign, really promising sign. Also, what happened? So I did give Little Cloud Games the benefit of the doubt, and I continue to do that. But if you remember what happened, the reason I made Tornado Research and Rescue in the first place is because he kind of just disappeared. With no notice, no updates, just nothing. They now released the 2023 version of this, and I think it was a month or two. It wasn't that much longer after this got released that suddenly came back and started releasing updates. And then as soon as that wave of excitement over Tornado games was gone, disappeared again. Like, he may well have his reasons for that. But I kind of felt at the time that he was kind of just capitalizing on the attention this game was getting as a good opportunity for him to be like, oh, by the way, I'm back too, don't forget about my Tornado game. But then he hasn't put out any updates since back then. Whereas at least me, I know I went through a bit of a rough patch, struggling with mental health and all sorts. But I went through all my development updates. I think the longest I went without posting anything on the server was 2 months. and I still like checked in to say, still struggling guys, things aren't great, but I still really want to work on the game, and I still give updates, just want to keep the community up to date. I guess each person has their own sort of life circumstances, so there may be a reason why he just kind of suddenly goes no contact. But I just kind of felt like, even if I wasn't actively working on the game, I still needed to at least post like ideas or stay in touch with the community. Right, is this coming this way? Yes, it is, and there are a lot of towns. We only need to do 2 more warnings though. Once for this cluster and once for that. Oh, actually, it's going to make a left turn towards there, isn't it? Right, we've got our... See, we need to have like rescue music. So like, when in this situation where we've got to pretty much warn this, warn these, get around here, and the tornado's getting close, we need to have rescue music. At least, what the chemicals are going to do is slow down the tornado. To give us more time. You see, it changes the way you play because you're no longer a passive observer, you're actively changing how everything works in the game. We're both at levels of the hunt. Like a weak hunt that isn't crazy fast or normal and a severe one for mechanic. Oh yeah, What I could do is not have like explicit hunt levels, but if you're a beginner, the hunts are... Because the speed that it chases you up to, I think 80 miles an hour is the max. Maybe I should scale that with your skill level. Right, let's warn this town next. It is making a left turn towards these towns, isn't it? Then again, in real life, tornadoes don't care about your experience level. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. You go west. I think I can safely say the vegetation rendering bug's fixed. We've streamed for an hour now. No sign of the vegetation bug. Oh no, it's making that left turn. Oh no, it looks like it's starting to turn right again. All we can do is warn who we can. Right. Am I starting to hear the roar? Look at that. You've got a tiny little footprint there. You wouldn't think there's an F6 packed in there, would you? Right. How close is it getting to those towns? Right. We need to go through the mountains again. Add retrograding. So remind me, retrograding is that like retrograde motion where the tornado can suddenly veer in like a random direction? So I think you can predict it based on the hodograph, can't you? Right, let's warn this town. It's getting dangerously close to those other towns though. But the reason I went this way is because we've now got a paved road which takes us directly to them. Oh, I should probably release some chemicals. Where is the... Right, so if we head south, we can go and warn this cluster of towns as well. That'd really get our rescue score up before it's got hit. Because I shouldn't be wishing for the towns to be hit, but I want everyone to be sheltered when it's hit. Well, it's got multi-vortex, but it's tiny at the base. That looks just unique. It's just like real life. You just get these bizarre formations you haven't seen before. There's a suction vortice going around. It's almost a dead man walking. Why do you passively lose health regardless of the wind speed? So it's not regardless of the wind speed. If you're outside the vehicle above 100 miles an hour, you'll start to passively lose health. Was I losing health just there before? It might have been some of the impacts when I was veering off-road. Right, this is going to be an important one. Right. It's coming right towards the right. We need to do a quick recall. And we need to do a deploy. Let's see. That town needs warned as well. Let's go south. Which way is south? That way is south. I think it's going to pass. Whoa, that thing is getting close. I feel this sense of dread or fear when I see it getting close now. Especially when I know I'm in a populated part of the map. Oh, it's turned north. I don't know what to do. I think that other town's actually more... What do I do? It's like 50-50 of which one it hits. I think I've already committed to this one. It's usually best to stick to the direction you've already chosen, unless you have really, really strong evidence to do the opposite. Let's head west. We'll warn this next town over. Let's do a quick deploy here. Okay, we've got our lives saved. That's what I see, 4 lives saved. You can hear the roar and the rumble. The one thing that's really nagging me about the game right now, I don't like the model for the sirens. It looks like that could have been in like a Nintendo 64 game. Like Mario Kart Tornado Edition. Look at that. It's just funny looking. Oh wow, look at this. I think we're going to max out our rescue score. Yeah, we're almost at Electra level now. I think I may need to rebalance the rescue score. Yeah, look, this massive strip of towns, they need rescue. Whoops. That's cost me 30% health, that. North and then west. I can hear it from here. So the game is lagging a bit. I may need to change the max debris settings, debris limit. Let's set that to something like 400. I think we just need that extra little bit of performance right now. Well, one injury. Oh, it's that other town. I had to make a choice. It was like a 50-50 choice of which town to warn. Right. If I just fly west. We will eventually get to one of these towns. I think we'll then use this next one because there's 2 hills to cross here, but there's only 1 hill here. See, these are all the sorts of things decisions Rabbit would be making and twist about which route to take. What if I can get Alan Ruck to endorse Tornado Research and Rescue, being Rabbit approved? Huh, I should send a copy to Sean Whalen, actually. I've messaged him a few times. Wow, that thing's got legs on it. Right, we're definitely... Right, let's stop wasting time. We need to fly north. As you can see, I've kind of changed from research mode to rescue mode. probe still gathering any data or not? Oh, it still is, even from, it looks like, what, about a mile away? Oops, I missed my turn. Let's double back. No, it's Multi-Vortex is a masterpiece. Cheers, appreciate that. Right, I think we'll just stay here, because these towns are already warned. And let's get as much data as we can. Let's drive towards it, so that we can redeploy the probe again and again right along this way. I mean, streaming for an hour, that's flown by. Look at the motion in the funnel. We'll probably get an accurate reading of what the true core winds are inside there. I think I can get a little bit closer. We've got quick deploy at the ready. Okay, you can see the damaging wind field. You can see it's just took that wind turbine out. Oh, it stopped hunting. Let's do a quick deploy anyway. It usually moves somewhat in the direction it was just going. Oh, we're starting to get towards sunset now. What's the time in the game? Oh no, not sunset. It is noticeably darker though. Which way is it moving? Is it going south? Okay, let's try and race it south on the gravel roads. One thing that still bothers me, not in the game, but just in general, there's so many like additional scenes and deleted scenes that were cut from Twister. Some of them have made them onto, was it like Getty Image or something like that? Some of them have on there, but it's literally just like stock footage with some of the movie vehicles. Trying to race this thing south, zigzagging on gravel roads. How's the probe doing in terms of data? Not really getting much. Let's do a quick recall. But you know, when the game goes this slow, it's because I'm rendering the game twice. Yeah, let's drive towards it. It's in a full circle. Let's just see how intense we can get it with the camera. Look at the motion in that funnel. Look at that. Right, let's not forget what I'm doing here. I need to take this next right. Wow, everything's getting lifted here. I think I'm slightly too close to the debris field. I'm not going to race it on there because there's no escape route. You're kind of like blocked in by the boulders or whatever on each side. Imagine this streaming like a chase like this in real life. Imagine if this was like the point of view of your stream. Right, we're going to go for another intercept. We're going to turn left along here. Get ready for the power slide. I think I want to reduce the grip on the rear tyres just a bit. Look at that. It's beautiful. Right, we're going to drive slightly towards it. It's a risk-reward thing. The closer we get, the riskier it is, but we're also more. There's also more of a guarantee that the probe will actually make it into the funnel. Yeah. Right, we're going to do a quick deploy. Flip a UE. And then get out of there. There's a motorway just coming up, so we'll try and escape along there. Hopefully it doesn't start to collapse in the winds before then. I also kind of want to see what wind speeds we're getting in there. Was it an F6? Could it have been an F7? I'm going to have to drive carefully along here. Probe camera. I can't really drive on here and have that open at the same time. Right, we need to be going. Because this thing was getting really close. That's looking very El Reno-y to me, given the lighting and the little multi-vortex nature of it. That actually looks like somebody walking. It's not responding much to the ground speed. Right, I think I'm safe along here. Let's just stop. Where's the probe? Okay, F5. F4, F5. We did manage to sample some of the F6 winds before. Dew point data. Okay, path deviance. Okay. It's going to be pretty straight as an arrow now. I think I want to... Which one slows it down? I might disable temperature data, just we're going to be here all night. It's not going to go off the map anytime soon. I do need to end the stream in the next half an hour or so. Maybe next 20 minutes. Because I need to have time to publish the update and then go to sleep. I wonder if I drop... Let's do a quick recall. I want to drive a little bit towards it. So it looks like it's moving pretty much straight down here, so if I can get a deployment up here somewhere, maybe where it crosses the road. I'll have a look out right when we're starting to cross a road. That's where we want to deploy. Yeah. Right. Now we just need to do a 3-point turn under immense pressure. Quick deploy. There we go. And now we need to get out of here pronto. Whoops. Vegetation's working perfectly. That thing is scary. Scaring me, and I technically created it. Oh yeah, you can see the little blue puff of chemicals there. That's the wind speed getting intensified even further. Oops. Okay, so it's 42% wider than would otherwise be. I still haven't actually created a mega wedge on the stream yet. Let's try and make that our goal. I'm going to not record anything except pressure. We're going to try and get ourselves a mega wedge. Let's analyze the data. 500,000, nice. And while we're, it says now pressure data. Let's upgrade that as far as we can go. I think the same with wind sampling. I think there's some easy wins here. Then I think upgrade the truck next as well. Power and acceleration is always a good one to have. Oops. And dirt roads. Any leftover money for the radar? No. Okay, let's try and create a mega wedge. Oh, it's getting towards night time as well. As if it wasn't already terrifying enough, we're soon not going to be able to see it. Except for power flashes. That thing is beautiful. I love the lighting here. This is like the golden hour in the game. Well, pretty much back to where the tornado first touched down. Look at that for a track. We've been on an absolute adventure. This is like an hour of our time. We've been on an absolute adventure in that time. Save more lives as well. Okay, plus 35% tornado size. Okay, I think we're going to have to distance ourselves a little bit. How quickly are the chemicals being released? It's going up in 3s. Yeah. Right, we need to make a little bit of a getaway. We'll go this way, and then we'll take this tornado. We'll take this motorway to the south. The tornadoes. That's only 0.7 of a mile as well. Plus 20. That's really responding to pressure data. Look at that. It's filling the camera. And that's still only. That's not even a mile yet. Plus 33%. You see how often it's releasing the chemicals? Yeah, it's starting to go. It's starting to mega wedge on us now. It's at what? 1 mile now. Oh, we do need to deploy the probe in its path again. How are we going to do this without dying? Plus 12%. Uh-oh. It's not going to be visible for much longer. The sun's going to set. What's the time in the game? 10 to 6 and it's March. I think I set the coordinates to Iowa. I think we just need the probe to be somewhat in the path. I think we do quick recall, quick deploy, and we're going to get out of the way of this thing. This is just a aerodynamic steamroller. Plus 8% that time. Yeah, we're getting injuries. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. Our rescue score is probably going down still. It's filling the camera frame. Should we escape south? Yeah, let's take that road we've just gone past. Take it to the south. I think we can safely say vegetation's fixed. I'll still knock on wood, but I'm very confident in it. Oh, we're getting the loud wind sound. That's not a good sign. Drive, drive, drive. This is. Where's the probe? Oh, yeah, that's easily gonna release more chemicals into it. What wind speed are we getting? F5 just now. Plus 37%. The tornado's now 4 times bigger than it's meant to be. We're sitting at 1.4 miles. Sorry, I know I haven't looked at the chat in a while. This has been intense. Why am I not losing health now? I'm inside the truck. If I do this, I'm inside the truck. If I do this, I'll just do it for a few minutes. You see how the health's going down? Because I'm in an insane amount of wind. Well, I say insane, 117 miles an hour. I guess if you're pretty skinny and have heavy boots, you could probably still stay... Actually, what would make more difference? Your cross-sectional area or your weight? And staying on your feet. It's plus 493% now. Right. Now I'm playing the get out of the way game. Okay, we're saving lives again. Not sure how. But it's so big, pretty much any town we've warned is probably going to stay warned because the tornado's going to be... Once they're warned, they'll stay warned either until I think 5 or 10 minutes times out or until the tornado's more than 5 kilometers away. Right, what sort of wind speeds are we getting? F5. What's that? 1.8 miles now. We're not even at Hallam, Nebraska sizes yet. I don't even know what's sky and what's tornado at this point. Okay, not good. Again, a lot of injuries. How's the balance of our rescue score? It's starting to go down a bit. This is where having a warn all button would be useful. Plus 35% is really responding to the pressure chemicals. Let's just try and get out of the way. What are we at now? 1.9 miles. Still not even the biggest tornado that's actually been in real life. I can't even see it. I know it's that direction because that's the direction the wind's blowing the dust. That's all I can say. Plus 10%. Right, I think we'll be pretty safe here. Are there any towns in the way? Oh, there's a few. I don't think there's any way we can realistically warn them without getting killed ourselves. Right, now we're going to turn the headlights off and try and spot the tornado game. I'll put the VHS camera on because that gives us a bit more contrast. It's 700% bigger than it would usually be. I can't see the tornado. We're definitely into mega wedge territory. 2 miles now. Then it's going to get 30% bigger again. We're just going to have to wait for power flashes. So the thing we do, let's hide the... Actually, I don't want to hide the hood because we're going to miss these updates. 7% plus 7% tornado size. Any signs of power flashes? How big is it? Still sitting at 2 miles. I'm Jeremy, the Tornado fan. I created the Hudsonville F5 in 1956. I also made Little Sioux Falls Tornado. I just finished working on Queensway. Oh, cool. Yeah, I need to add like Steamworks integration so that people don't have to keep sharing these on file sharing sites. There needs to be a smoother way of sharing these. Maybe I can make use of what I learned back when I used to work at a software consultancy. Make like a custom hosted server where people can upload them to and it'll download them automatically. Even though I guess I'm just recreating what Steam does, isn't it? It's just the same thing but with extra steps. I haven't seen any power flashes. It's 800% bigger than it would otherwise be. Still only sitting at 2.1 miles though. Yeah, that's the difficult thing about being realistic with these, especially the historical tornadoes. There's just not the data that you need, really. Like, it's really difficult to get everything, like a really detailed path. Because even if you got the path, you still need to know, like, the intensity at each point, the wind speed and intensity at each point, what the tornado looked like for most of the path, and it's just... a lot of the time it's not available. So good job on doing that. I can't see anything. Plus 7%. We're 2.1 miles now. But yeah, I can stream for 5 more minutes, but then I will have to end the stream. Can you comment above? Which one? Sometimes lose health regardless of the current wind speed. What do you mean? Do you mean when I'm in the truck? Yeah, that's why I kind of want these to be. You do your best to keep it accurate, and I think that's what people want with these scenarios is the accuracy. Which is why I think it'd be great to have somewhere where people can like edit them and update them and suggest improvements to them. So I guess Steamworks is good for that because then people can comment and say, oh, actually at this timestamp the tornado was a bit wider, or actually didn't touch down until this time. And we'll have them in one point rather than on the Discord server having like version 1, version 2, version 3. It is unavoidable because I haven't put anything in place to deal with that yet. But yeah, I think the Steamworks will definitely improve things. We're going to have to get back in the truck because we're almost up to 100 miles an hour. That's the time. 7:40 PM. No, when you're outside of the truck. See, we can test it quickly. Let's make sure we're not driving into the path here. We'll just stop here, and we need to be looking west. With 91 mile an hour winds just now. If there are power flashes, they're probably so small compared to the tornado that we can't even see it. Plus 39%. So this is our first, I guess, natural mega wedge, if you call that on the stream. 2.3 miles. Still not even Hallam, Nebraska sized. I lost significant health at 30 mile per hour wind speed. Did something impact the truck? Because I think you still lose health if things impact you. Let's see. Yeah. What happened there? Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. It's when I walk. It's when I walk over the edge of the road because there's a slight dip. I think that's being classed as an impact. Because look, if I stand still, it's fine. It's nothing to do with the wind speed. But it's if I walk into things. Yeah, look, even just a soft bump into the truck like that. It's reducing my health. Yeah, the threshold's way too low. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I see what you mean now. Yeah, I think the threshold's way too low for first person. What's it at now? 2.3 miles. It's a shame we can't see it. Have I got any more data, by the way? Might as well analyse it. Oh, $146,000. Might as well get some more upgrades. Let's get the radar nice and upgraded. Is the probe still inside of it? Where's the probe's all the way over there, but it's F2 strength winds. Can I shine the light in the direction of the tornado? Does it make any difference? Lose health when leaving the car. Oh yeah, because there's a little drop. When you first exit the car, there's like a little 1 meter drop on your character loads under the ground. Yeah, this thing's hard to see. That's 11%. $2.4 miles. Almost at Hallam, Nebraska sizes. Plus 8%, not much that time. Can we hear the roar from where we are? Not sure we can. Plus 19%. Those towns are about to get demolished. Sorry, towns. There's no way I could have got there without seriously risking the whole chase. 2.5. So now we're at Hallam, Nebraska size. Can't see anything. Then we're at El Reno size yet. The town's just getting hit by a sub-vortex. Not quite El Reno sized. Well, that'll probably do it. Plus 32%. So we've got a 2.5 mile wide F6 tornado, from what I can tell. Our best chance of seeing it is probably with the VHS camera. Gives us a bit better contrast. Let's drive towards it. I don't even need headlights with the VHS camera on. So look, with it off, we got that. With it on, we got that. What about now? 2.6, so we've got El Reno size now. Yeah, I can stream for 2 more minutes and now we'll have to end the stream. Are we going to surpass El Reno? We're going to hit 2.7. When do you think the next US tornado that surpasses 2.6 miles is going to be? I'm not hoping for it to be anytime soon because obviously something like that's incredibly dangerous. But that was back in 2013, that's 13 years ago. Before that, I guess it was 2004. So it's 9 years, then 13 years. Maybe another 17 years after that. Oh no! All right, I'm ending the chase here. I'm not. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. No, that's too terrifying. It's nighttime. It's 2.6 miles wide. It's an F6. No, and it's hunting me right when it's about to go off the map. No, I'm not. It's too late at night for me to deal with that amount of terror. Yeah, let's get back to the main menu. Okay, so I've got a couple of minor things to change. I think now that we've got health instead of just your regular It's like losing samples. I think that's actually a minor update bump, not just a patch. So I think they should go up to version 0.18.0, not 0.17.5. So I'll do that. It's taking a while to return to the main menu. I'm not sure what it does. It must have to unload a lot of stuff. There we go. That it took a while to go there, back there. So yeah, I need to do that, and then I need to increase the threshold for first-person impacts, just so you don't die just from walking around outside the truck. But thank you so much, everybody who's joined. We've seen again first time for Mega Wedge on the stream, which wasn't just the scripted one in the scenario. And I think we saw a lot of action, a lot of cool looking tornadoes. So I'll push this update in the next few minutes, and I'll catch you all on the next stream.